speaker, and this speaker is someone who I think I have to say aloud that this guy is a friend of mine. This guy is a friend of mine, but he won the Kannarangachari in 2014, cataract and refractive surgeon, innovator, entrepreneur, director, and eye center in Kolkata. But he's way beyond any of us in Kolkata in his original thinking, in his passion, in his dedication, and in his focus. So over to you, Suven.
Thank you, Partha, for the kind words. Yes, we've shared a very common journey for a very long time back when you used to drive the scooter and I used to drive the bike. So, yeah, from there, it's been a long journey. So, let me share my screen. Yeah. So, so let me start by bowing to my teachers in my formative years in JIPMA, Professor Vasudev Anand Rao, Professor Renuka Srinivasan, Pawan Shore, Professor Jawaharlal Goel. These are the people who shaped my initial years and taught me a lot more than ophthalmology. And then, of course, Professor Nagpal, who taught me about ophthalmology, life, and a lot more things. Anyone who's been to Retina Foundation would know what this means. And Dr. Rajkumar Sharma, who handheld me through my vitreoretinal training. Many of you may be surprised that I'm a vitreoretinal surgeon, actually. So, and thank you, All India Ophthalmological Society. I really can't thank AIOS enough, and the members who have supported and encouraged me throughout. This has been a wonderful supporting journey. So the journey to Kannarangachari Award 2014, as I would say, is the story of the unlikely candidate. And I'm Suven Bhattacharjee, and I'll tell you why I feel so. Though I do have a financial interest in the BX Pupil Expander and MedInvent devices. So when we look at, I look at this, illustrious list of illustrious awardees over the years, and would wonder if I could really grab that empty slot over there. But then my idea of a likely candidate for Kannarangachari Award was somebody from a premier institution or a group, a senior resident consultant from a private hospital, more than 50 publications, mentor, expert guidance, large sample, RCT, longitudinal study, high-tech research lab, or big grant funding. Well, turns out I ticked all the wrong boxes. Individual practitioner, private practice immediately after MS Ophthalm and didn't even actually get senior residency. There was no vacancy. From when I passed out from JIPMA, under 5 peer-reviewed publications on your own or on my own, do it yourself mostly, a very small number of cases, and a makeshift home lab facility, and self-financing for a long time. And yet, I did go on to win the Kannarangachari Award. So if I could do it, all of you can. So probably for the first time, the Kannarangachari Award was for an innovative device, and we made the impossible possible. So what did I do different? I challenged the status quo. I dreamt sensibly of fulfilling an unmet need. I worked diligently to live my dream and chased my passion. And finally, I did manage to convince the judges that my dream had become a reality. So how did I dream sensibly? I identified the pain point, assessed potential value, which would be societal and market. And I checked gross feasibility. When I started off on the idea, within my resources, I knew I had limited resources. I don't have the resources of a huge institute. I did not have a mentor, at least in this field. So I was working on very frugal resources. I maintained confidentiality, filed patents, took calculated risks, and of course, I studied failures very closely. I didn't want to reinvent the wheel and go the same path. So the dream or the problem statement was a better pupil expander than the Malyugin ring. So the new device had to be a simpler design, user-friendly, safer for the patient, machinable, so that it's consistent and affordable. It took me 5 long years to give a form to what I dreamt would be a better alternative to the Malyugin ring. Of course, there were a lot of paper napkin drawings, in-flight notes, and people, when I used to go travel to ASCRS Academy or ESCRS, I mean, people would watch movies and I would be doing my drawings in the flight. Midnight notes, sleepless nights, all innovators go through this. Nothing special about me. Now, so what did it take from the idea to invention, the real journey? Now, there are various aspects: the device, the patent, peer acceptance, and commercialization. So a lot more actually than what I bargained for initially when I thought I started out. So that would be the entire matrix. The device has a kind of journey. The patent had a journey. Peer acceptance is where the awards come in, and the AIOS Kanal Rangachari Award was a huge shot in the arm, which took me actually miles and miles forward, kind of rocket propelled me further. And of course, the commercialization, which phase where I am right now. So what did I do? I pivoted. I looked for non-standard solutions. I looked outside the medical device industry. Nobody in the medical device industry could really help me with the kind of size and stuff that I wanted. So I went and approached people in the plastic industry. And there was a gentleman called Mr. Maheshwari who said, do it yourself. And of course I did. And I had to make a spring. So I wound nylon on a nail and put it in a kitchen oven. That's what he taught me. And that kind of was a turning point for me. And this was my first spring that I made from 3-0 nylon suture in a kitchen oven, my wife's kitchen oven. And these are the tools that I use. No big sophisticated equipment, no great lab. This is my daughter's study and the table lamp. I was presbyopic, so you'll find my glasses somewhere over there. So, and the same Aftal tools that we use for our day-to-day surgery. Yes, this is something, which piece of equipment that I bought was a hot air oven with a digital temperature control. There's a table-mounted microscope from Apasami, which I actually paid in installments. And this is the PCB drill and drill bits and odd things that I kind of used on this project. So give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. That is something I learned hugely. This gentleman, Mr. Maheshwari, taught me how to fish. Prototyping blues, I mean, this is endless. Each design took 48 hours of intense labor and they were rejected. Rejects. The first design was of 10 millimeters. Then we had these all various forms and shapes. Nothing was really helping me progress. Setbacks and failures were kind of building blocks for me, everyday event. So like I talked about the device, patent application was rejected at every stage. I had to challenge it, question it, argue my way out. Peer acceptance, ESRS 2013, I was fully charged up that I was kind of creating a groundbreaking invention. And it was an absolute damn script. 3 minutes I presented, not a single question from the floor or from the panel. I was aghast.
So 1 minute.
Yeah, this JCRS paper, initial submission was rejected. And then the revision paper was accepted. Of course, then there was a delay in publication, which I overcame by blackmail. As Winston Churchill said, success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. So we did have sunshine after rain, and these were for my own clinical trial. And this was the one which went for the Kanal Rangachari Award. This was 5-0 nylon. And this is the commercial version which you're familiar with. Then we had the ASCRS best paper of the session. That was again another big shot in the arm. And of course, this was a long journey for the grant, big grant, which was 50 lakhs and kind of helped me. So let's come to the paper. This was the paper. So when I presented the paper, the first thing I wanted to do to tell the judges was, yes, I have proof. I can go in through a 0.9 millimeter incision and it's notches and flanges, and here are the results. So I got their attention as soon as I started off. And I mean, these were the standard questions. Do we need, does the malignant ring really meet all our present day needs? So this was the history, what is there, review of literature. And then why do we need? There were incision places where we required a much smaller incision, vitreoretinal surgery where we required a better device, shallow anterior chambers where the malignant ring had a higher vertical profile. And in femtoflex, we do need a device which would work better. So the purpose of the study was to evaluate the new pupil dilating devices for the smallest incision required, the efficacy in dilating pupil, and the safety, the materials and methods. Look at that, only 33 small pupil eyes. And yet we won a Rangachari Award. So it doesn't really matter, it depends upon the content. And this was the video which I think clinched. This was proof that my dream had been converted to reality. This was my handmade nylon, 5-0 nylon suture devices. And I could demonstrate that it would go into a 2.2, a 0.9 incision, and we could expand the pupil. I mean, there is no better proof than a video. So once I had that, I think that won the attention of the judges. And I think that's where I scored over my competitors on that session. This was 1.4 mm bimanual MICS, 2.2 millimeter coaxial phaco with a square device. And that's again a 2.2. And that's the standard 2.6, I think, phaco. And The best part was the removal. No device in the history of ophthalmology no pupil expander could be removed to that side port 0.9 incision. And that kind of impressed everyone. So from there, of course, we showed our results, and we did show that it worked in all cases. There were various criteria, sizes, which is now not really relevant. Now we've boiled down to the final sizes. And I demonstrated that we could have very good, nice round pupils, immediate post-op and within 7 days, and pristine looking pupils, despite having put in a pupil expander. And this was a wonderful case that I could demonstrate. A patient who had angle closure glaucoma, had a PI earlier, other eye was blind, chamber depth of 1.72 millimeters only. And this was the picture on day 7 post-op. So we concluded that it could be inserted through a 0.9 incision, and it could effectively and safely dilate the pupil. It was useful for a host of conditions, and an injector was not needed. So we did ultimately demonstrate that the Bhattacharya rings were easier, faster, and safer than the Mulligan ring, and a simple single plane device design, which meant faster production, reduced costs, and less financial burden. For my colleagues, especially the younger ones, if we dream, there is a chance they may come true. So give dreams a chance by all means. Dream big, despite failures. Every member who's watching this webinar has the dream, and hence is a potential Colonel Rangachari Award winner. Thank you, AIOS, once again for this wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Suven, thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity for us to hear the background story once again. I've heard it so many times, but it is invigorating to hear it once more. Rajesh and Chitra, would you like to discuss?
Yeah, sure. I would definitely like to say, because first of all, I would like to thank you, Dr. Partha, because Suven is such a dear friend and you have asked me to speak for his innovation. So I'm thankful to you for that. And this innovation is a wonderful innovation because I have myself used it on a number of occasions. And it is so sleek, as he was mentioning, it can be introduced. It has some differences. There are other pupil expanders as well, but it has some uniqueness. It can be introduced through a very small incision. And what he mentioned about flax, in a flax, you can, if the pupil is very small and the patient is wanting for that, you can very well introduce through a very small incision, a side port, and don't require anything. Any instrument can introduce it. It is very easy to do it. And again, there's an advantage that, all the notches are in a single plane. So it doesn't catch, even after, capsulorhexis, the pupil becomes small, you can put it and it doesn't catch the rhexis at all. I mean, even with other rings, you can manage, you can inject viscoelastic, but in other rings, you are a bit scared because they are not in the same plane. This is in the same plane. So what happens is that it never catches the capsule. That is the beauty. And it is soft. So the only thing is that if the pupil is too rigid, it becomes a bit difficult. But the advantage is that in majority of cases, you don't have that rigid pupil. You just need, these floppy kind of a pupil wherein you need something to expand. And once you've expanded, done the phaco, remove it, your sphincter will be absolutely intact. So you will have an absolutely undamaged sphincter. After that, nobody will say that, you have used a pupil expander. So that's the beauty of this ring. And I'm really proud of you, my friend. Rangachari, no Rangachari, Suven, my dear friend, you have become global now.
Thank you, Rajesh. Very kind words. Thank you, Rajesh.
That's really great.
Absolutely. Chitra?
It's really nice to talk about you, Suven. And the few words I'm going to say is a reflection of what I heard. I don't know which session you spoke about for nearly 20 minutes to half an hour about how you struggled to get this thing into the field. And it was such a picturesque description, and it actually brought out the whole drama and the challenge which any innovator would face. And what is very nice about Suven is he's so completely candid about the very tough course he had to pursue. In fact, it keeps telling you that it's perseverance and completely unshakable confidence which he's had that he would not lose out on this innovation. And that's what I understood in that very massive talk of it. And it's about an admirable grit which allowed him to go through that whole tedious process. And at no point of time, it let him dampen his pursuit. So kudos to you, Suven. And what comes clearly is how science and commerce worked hand in hand for you. Like more often, you know, science would actually outperform itself, but somewhere the tedious process of getting the patent would get ignored because one can't go through all those frustrations which you so beautifully described. So what you did was you actually fought this tiresome machinery and you got certified this product. So you actually combine innovatorship and combined with the business of commerce. So I think we need to be really proud of you. It's a made in India product, so sleek, so uniplanar, going through small incisions, taking out through side ports, can be used in shallow AC, small pupils. Suven, you are truly brilliant. And in this point of time, before I conclude, my genuine appreciation for all those wonderful speakers we heard over the last 1.5 hours. Kudos to you. And I'm sure the purpose is served. Partha wanted many more people to come and stand for this award session. He's going to have tons of them coming in.
Thank you.
Partha,
Thank you very much.
One small comment I'll make, one small comment because I should not be entering into NTA segment arena, but the journey of Suven is very inspiring. You see, he did not leave behind anything. I personally think somebody from AIOS or Partha should approach Modi. You see, because Make in India wala jo concept hai na, wo is truly inspiring, Suven. Because to challenge Boris Malaguen, believe me, Boris Malaguen ring was a household name amongst ophthalmologists. So Bhattacharya ne usko displace kar diya. That is what I love about Bhattacharya.
I can't thank you enough, Lalit sir. And actually, I'll thank AIOS for bringing in an innovative session. Actually, Lalit sir met me after the Rangacharya and said that the next, I think, meeting wherever we met, "Arey, tere liye ek innovative session kholna pada abhi hame."
No, that is true because
that has really encouraged so many innovators. That has really encouraged.
I remember we started that innovative session. It was jam-packed, and Suven was the main person. In fact, he was saying what we need from industry is how are they going to, motivate research. ये products वगैरह, Suven, I remember he said ये products वगैरह नहीं सुनने हैं. How can you motivate our researchers into it? Suven, you remember?
Yes, sir, I do remember. I asked the industry, how can you support our members? Your products and all, it's okay. We can listen to your products and stuff, but how can you support our young members in their journey? That was what.
दोनों हाथों से सलाम आपको.
I would like to make a small comment. Comment.
Yes,
Suven. Always, I feel I've gone giving talks on video and show videos on managing small pupil. But since BX has been launched, I mean, Suven, thanks to you, the BX has made my journey of cataract surgery in small pupil very smooth sailing. And I feel proud. Whenever I have a small pupil in my OR, I don't get scared. I don't feel anything. I just feel Suven is standing next to me. My BX comes out and my journey is smooth. And I always tease him that Suven, your sales, I am a part of it to increase your sales. And he always denies it. But I love you, Suven. Your innovation has just
Thank you. It's your love. It's everybody's the friend's love.
Smooth sailing.
So
Suven, the take-home message for you is BX rings free of cost.
I heard it loud and clear.
Will flow out.
Suven, to all attendees of this session today.
Yes.
Nothing can be so cheap what Suven is giving. At BX, for the price, what he's charging, it's superb.
So one idea for AIOS is for Partha and Chitra to start a Shark Tank kind of a session for AIOS with, innovators interfaced with business.
Yes.
Dr. Mahipal sir, would you like to say something? I'm sure he would have something, and this is something that, he had also suggested, innovators with business and industry.
So actually, first of all, congratulations, Suven, for giving this wonderful device to the world, I would say. And just from where Amit left, I don't know whether you got it or not, but we used to get his free samples of every design that he was making to try and to give him feedback as to how it. And once I also got that, please discard these X samples that you have got because they are not the one.
Yes.
So Suven had the perseverance, I would say, that he had, and he would actually nudge all the people at that particular time who were, I would say, influencers or anything within cataract surgery arena and to try to use it. And I think he has really, really perspired a lot. I don't know whether there was any blood involved, but there was a lot of perspiration, and I think he made losses to begin with. And I think it's great that he has persevered. And I think I once discussed with him that in case he needs any support from a business, but I think he went along and he was able to do that. And congratulations, Suven. And coming to the point which Santosh said and then Dr. Namrata said, I think one thing that is there is that the earlier talk that I was also listening about the wide field OCT, etc. I think it's such a simple device that should actually be put to commercial use. That is something that is when you actually get noticed by other people, when it becomes good in everybody's hand. See, saying that a particular thing works in my hand and this is my hypothesis, this is what I have postulated, till it becomes workable in any Tom, Dick and Harry's hand, it is not going to be a shining star. So that is one missing link that we have in India, and we are not able to commercialize a concept that we have. That is very, very important, whether it be Shark Tank, whether it is, but one thing that is there after the COVID is that there is so much of investment, venture capital funds, private equity that are chasing healthcare because health has become foremost. I think we need to have maybe little sessions or whatever is required for you to sell an idea. And Shark Tank, as for those who do not know, is something where you present an idea before investors and they immediately say, okay, I am willing to buy 50% of the amount. But you have to actually tell what is marketable. As to how you plan, what we are doing, what Suven did for drawing everything, etc. You have to again put as a 5-year, 10-year, 15-year business plan as to how it is going to change things, how it is going to be disruptive. That is what everybody is talking about. So today, disruption is the key. Let us just say as to the latest thing, which is Zomato. Zomato, this guy started, how did this idea come to him? This
pizza, bad pizza delivered to him.
Yeah, the back pizza was not the thing. A bad pizza, he was working in, I don't know, Accenture or some place in Gurgaon. And during the lunch hour, everyone used to be talking about, yaar, mere ko canteen ka khana padta hai, why can't I get good food, etc., etc. So he collected menus from the nearby restaurants and put it there for his friends and colleagues and everybody who's working in the same company. And they started ordering. And he facilitated the ordering, and that is where he got the idea, well, this is a huge, huge demand that is there. And look at it where it is, and that is where they persevered. And the first funding that he got was for $1 million only, and that is from where on we went. And today, just with 4.6% of the shares, he is 5,000 crores worth, and stock options, and he will be 13,000 crore worth. So that is something that we have to see as to the enterprise value or the enterprise that we can create. And getting funding from outside sources is not bad. That is what I feel is that, because that helps you grow exponentially in putting your dreams and your projects into fruition. So I think that these are certain learnings that we have to have, that we need to look at how it is going to transform. What is the transformation that it is going to bring in a clinical practice? So that's what Arup said, from the bench to the bedside. That is something very, very important. And that is what, Suven, you have done. And congratulations. And I think we need to actually look at these particular things and maybe have an innovator session with the people. There are enough and more funds who deal only in healthcare. So we could actually, Partha, you can connect with me. I can give you names of certain people who are just healthcare funds, and you could have a session where our youngsters can present, and we can have the people from private equity sitting there. At least give an exposure to our young guys also, as to the patenting is something very, very important that we are not doing. We discussed it in previous sessions also. Patent is something, even if you write a A in a different manner, just patent it. So that is something, you never know what patent works tomorrow.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So much of learning again from you. So Suven, you've got to look into this as well. But I think you've got Mahipal sir also excited. So there might be something coming your way as well.